Have you ever believed that, after all these years, your life experience has made you a pretty good judge of character? For generations, we were raised to believe that being trusting and kind-hearted is a virtue. It's a belief that most of us hold dear, the idea that at the end of the day, our goodness is our greatest strength. But what if I told you that this very belief is now being used against you? As a family doctor who has sat and listened to my patients for over 30 years, I have seen a heartbreaking truth that is difficult to accept. For seniors in America today, that kindness, that inherent trust you have in others, is being systematically targeted and turned into a weapon. The single most dangerous threat to your financial security right now may not be the stock market or a bad investment. It might just be your own good heart. This isn't a theory I read in a book. It's a reality I've seen with my own eyes. I'll never forget a patient of mine, a proud Army veteran named Frank. He was sharp as a tack, a man who could tell you stories for hours and remember every detail. But a single clever phone call that preyed on his sense of duty cost him over $5,000. The money hurt, of course, but what truly wounded him, what he told me with tears in his eyes, was the shame of being fooled. His story is the reason I knew I had to make this video for you today. The truth is, 5 new scams are spreading like wildfire, each one designed to exploit the trust of good people like Frank. In this video, I'm not here to scare you. I'm here to arm you. We're going to break down each one of these scams, piece by piece, and I will give you the simple, practical tools and the exact words you can use to protect yourself and the savings you have worked your entire life to build. And please, it is incredibly important that you stay with me until the very end. Because the 5th scam I'll reveal is the most emotionally devastating of all, and it's the very one that almost cost my patient Frank his entire life savings. The information in that final section is something every senior needs to know. It could truly save you, or someone you love, from financial ruin. Before we dive in, I want to connect with the community we have here. If the problem I've just described resonates with you, if you've ever worried about being too trusting in today's world, please take a moment to comment with a simple yes below. It helps me understand what you're going through, and more importantly, it shows others watching right now that they are not alone in feeling this way. Okay, let's get started. Alright, let's get started. The first scam we need to talk about has become incredibly common, especially as our lives have become more connected to technology. Number 1. The tech support scam. The first scheme we need to put under the microscope is the so-called tech support scam. This one has become one of the most frequent and effective tricks out there today. It often begins with a sudden, alarming pop-up message that takes over your computer screen, flashing bright red warnings about viruses or claiming your bank account has been compromised. Or, you might get an unsolicited phone call from a person claiming to be from a well-known company like Microsoft, Apple, or even your local internet provider. Now, as your doctor, let me explain the psychology behind why this is so devastatingly effective. The entire scam is built on a single, powerful emotion: panic. Think of it like a medical emergency. When you suddenly feel a sharp pain in your chest, your first instinct isn't to calmly analyze the situation. It's to call for help immediately. These scammers create a digital emergency. They know that when we are scared and feel out of our depth with technology that we didn't grow up with, our critical thinking can shut down. We become desperate for a solution from anyone who sounds like they know what they're doing. They use these official-sounding names, Microsoft Security Department, for example, to create an instant illusion of credibility, banking on the fact that you'll be too flustered to question it. This is exactly what happened to a dear patient of mine, a 78-year-old retired accountant named Arthur. Arthur was a man who prided himself on his sharp mind and meticulous records. One afternoon, a loud alert started blaring from his computer, telling him his system was infected and all his financial data was at risk. A phone number was provided. When he called, the man on the other end was incredibly calm, professional, and reassuring. He guided Arthur to download a program that would give him remote access to diagnose the problem. Arthur watched on his screen as his mouse cursor moved on its own, feeling a wave of relief that a supposed expert was now in control. After a few minutes of this digital theater, the technician told him a $250 security fee was required to install a lifetime firewall. It seemed like a reasonable price for peace of mind, so Arthur paid it without hesitation. It was only a week later, when he was balancing his checkbook, that he discovered the scammers had quietly drained over $3,000 from his bank account. The shame he felt, he told me in my office, was far worse than the loss of the money. So here is the simple, practical solution I tell all my patients, and I want you to remember it. Real, legitimate companies like Microsoft or Apple will never call you out of the blue about a problem with your computer. They will never ask for remote access, and they will certainly never, ever demand payment in the form of gift cards, wire transfers, or cryptocurrency. If you get a call or a pop-up like this, the action is simple. Do not click anything. Do not call the number. Just press and hold the power button to turn off the computer. If it's a phone call, hang up immediately. Your caution is your most powerful shield. To help spread this important message, if you or someone you know has ever received a suspicious call like this, please take a moment to comment with the word "aware" below. It helps us build a community that looks out for one another. Number 2. The Medicare and health insurance scam. This next scam is particularly cruel because it targets something so utterly essential to all of us as we get older: our health. This is the Medicare and health insurance scam, and it often begins with a phone call from someone claiming to be an official agent from Medicare or the Social Security Administration. They sound incredibly professional, using official-sounding language, and they might even mention bits of your personal information, like your address or a snippet of your Medicare number that they found somewhere else. Their ultimate goal is usually the same: to tell you that you're suddenly eligible for fantastic new benefits, free medical equipment you didn't ask for, or that you need to re-verify your sensitive information to keep your current coverage active. As your doctor, I know firsthand that nothing feels more vital than your health and ensuring you have good medical care. Scammers know this too, and they ruthlessly exploit this fundamental concern. They skillfully use the fear of losing essential medical benefits to rush you into giving away sensitive details over the phone. Think about it. We were all raised to respect government agencies and official organizations. That deeply ingrained trust, combined with the potent worry of potentially losing access to vital healthcare, can quickly override our usual caution and good judgment. This combination is precisely what they're banking on. I think of a dear patient of mine, Carol, an 81-year-old widow who was always very proactive about managing her diabetes. She received a call one afternoon from a woman claiming to be a Medicare benefits coordinator, who excitedly offered her a free, top-of-the-line diabetes monitor. Wanting to stay on top of her health and take advantage of what sounded like a helpful new program, Carol confirmed her full Medicare number and her date of birth. Weeks later, a cheap, flimsy diabetes monitor did arrive, but that wasn't the end of it. Soon after, her Medicare statements began showing thousands of dollars in claims for various other unnecessary medical supplies and equipment that she had never ordered or used. She came to my office feeling completely violated, realizing that her desire to be healthy and her trusting nature had been cruelly used against her. Here's the simple, critical truth you must engrave in your mind. Medicare will never call you unexpectedly and ask for your Medicare number or any other personal information over the phone. Their official communication regarding your benefits or coverage will always come through the mail. So, if you receive such a call, the safest and most effective action is to hang up immediately. Do not engage. Do not confirm any information. If you're genuinely concerned about your benefits, always call the official number printed directly on your Medicare card or visit their official website yourself. Trust your known, verified contact information, not what a stranger gives you over the phone. To affirm your commitment to protecting your vital health information, please take a moment to comment "protected" down below. It's a small, yet powerful step that reminds us all to stay vigilant and helps build our community of awareness. Number 3. The online shopping and delivery scam. This next scam is a particularly modern one, born from a convenience that many of us have come to truly appreciate: online shopping. It's a wonderful tool, isn't it? Especially when getting out to the store isn't as easy or as appealing as it once was. But this convenience has opened a new door for criminals, not just through fake websites, but also through cleverly disguised, phony delivery notices that can catch anyone off guard. As your doctor, let me break down why this particular scam is so effective. The temptation here is twofold. It preys on the simple joy of a good bargain and the small, understandable panic of a missed delivery. When you're browsing online and find an item you've been wanting at a deep discount, your brain gets a little jolt of excitement. That feeling can sometimes cloud our better judgment, making us overlook red flags we might otherwise notice. Then there's the second part of the trap. You get a text message or an email that looks exactly like it's from UPS, Amazon, or the post office. It feels urgent, stating there's a problem with a delivery. This is especially potent if you're waiting on something important, like a prescription from the pharmacy or a birthday gift for a grandchild. Your immediate, natural impulse is to click the link and fix the problem. Scammers are experts at creating these small, urgent problems that push us to react emotionally rather than think logically. This is precisely what happened to a patient of mine, David, a 72-year-old grandfather who finds immense joy in his garden. He was online looking for new tools and stumbled upon an ad for a website he'd never heard of. The site was beautiful, filled with professional photos and glowing customer reviews, advertising high-quality gardening tools at a fraction of their usual price. He was so pleased with his find that he placed a large order. But weeks went by, and nothing arrived. When he tried to contact them, the customer service email bounced back, and the phone number was out of service. He realized the website was a complete sham. To make matters worse, the scammers didn't just take his money for the non-existent tools. They had captured his credit card information and had already attempted to make several other large purchases. He told me he felt so embarrassed for letting the excitement of a bargain blind him. So, here is the simple, practical solution I want you to remember. First, regarding online shopping, if a deal from an unknown website seems dramatically too good to be true, it almost certainly is. It's always safest to stick with well-known, reputable retailers you already know and trust. Second, and this is the most critical part, never, ever click on a link in an unexpected text message or email about a package delivery. Instead, always go directly to the official website of the shipping company, like USPS.com, UPS.com, or FedEx.com, and manually type in the tracking number yourself if you have one. This one simple habit will protect you from a world of trouble and give you complete peace of mind. If the realism of how these delivery scams can trick even the most careful person surprised you, please take a moment to just type "wow" in the comments below. Your reaction helps others understand just how convincing these schemes can be. Number 4. The romance and companionship scam. This next one we need to discuss, frankly, is the cruelest of them all. This scam is so insidious because it doesn't prey on your fear of a computer virus or your desire for a good bargain. It targets one of the most fundamental, powerful, and beautiful parts of being human, our need for connection, for companionship, and for love. From a medical perspective, I can tell you that loneliness is not just a feeling. It is a genuine health risk. I see the very real, physical consequences of social isolation in my older patients every single day. It can affect everything from heart health to memory and mental clarity. It is a powerful, painful void that people naturally want to fill. These criminals, these emotional predators, are masters at finding people who feel that void. They don't rush. They are incredibly patient. They will spend weeks, sometimes months, on dating sites, social media, or even through a random email, building what feels like a deep, genuine, and loving relationship. They listen to your stories. They share their own fabricated ones. They send good morning texts and good night calls. They become a part of your daily routine, a source of comfort and excitement. They invest the time to build a powerful bond of trust before the topic of money ever comes up. That is why this scam is so devastating. When the betrayal finally comes, it doesn't feel like a financial mistake. It feels like a broken heart. I will never forget a lovely woman named Susan, a 74-year-old patient of mine. After her husband of 50 years passed away, she was terribly lonely. Her children, who lived in different states, encouraged her to join a social site for seniors just to connect with people. She was soon contacted by a man who claimed to be a retired military officer working on a final engineering project overseas. He was witty, charming, attentive, and seemed to understand her grief perfectly. For 2 solid months, they communicated every single day. He became her confidant, the first person she thought of when she woke up, and the last person she spoke to before bed. He promised her that as soon as his project was finished, he would fly home to finally meet her and start their new life together. Then, one day, the emergency happened. A critical piece of equipment had broken, he said, and all his money was tied up in the project. He just needed a short-term loan to get it repaired so he could finish his work and finally come home to her. Because she was so deeply invested emotionally, because she truly believed in the bond they had formed, she wired him the money. Soon after, another emergency came up. Then another. By the time her son discovered what was happening during a visit, Susan had lost over $30,000. But as she sat in my office, she told me through tears that the money was nothing compared to the emotional wreckage. The loss of trust in other people, and worse, in her own judgment, was the wound that hurt the most. The solution here requires us to guard our hearts with our heads, without closing ourselves off to the world. Here are the clear, non-negotiable red flags. Be wary of anyone who professes deep, powerful feelings of love very quickly, before you have ever met them in person. Be very suspicious of someone who always has a convenient excuse for why they can't have a simple video call with you. And here is the biggest, brightest red flag of all. Any request for money, for any reason, no matter how tragic or urgent their story sounds. A real, healthy relationship is not built on financial transactions. The rule is absolute, and I tell this to all my patients. Never, ever send money to someone you have only met online. Let's create a community of support right here in these comments. It is so important to know you are not alone in navigating this. Please comment staying safe below to show that you're committed to looking out for yourself and for others in our community. Number 5. The investment and prize scam. And this brings us to our fifth and final scam, the one I urged you to wait for. This is perhaps one of the oldest tricks in the book, but it remains dangerously effective because it targets two of our most powerful and noble emotions: the hope we hold for a better future for our families, and the fear of missing out on a golden opportunity that could change everything. As your doctor, I've had countless conversations with my patients over the years about their plans for retirement. We talk about their desire to be secure, to not be a burden, and most beautifully, to leave a legacy for their children and grandchildren. These are selfless, honorable goals. Scammers know this, and they have perfected the art of twisting that hope into a tool for exploitation. This is the classic too good to be true scam. They'll approach you with a can't-miss investment, a secret stock, a new technology, a rare commodity, that promises massive, guaranteed returns with little to no risk. On the other side of the same coin is the prize scam, where you receive a very official-looking letter or an exciting phone call announcing you've won a huge lottery, a publisher's sweepstakes, or a luxury vacation. The sudden thrill of that news is a powerful emotion, designed to overwhelm your natural, healthy skepticism. The psychological trap that makes this work is the intense, artificial sense of urgency and exclusivity they create. They will always tell you that you have to act now, or the opportunity will be gone forever. They'll say, "This offer is only for today," or "We're only extending this to a select few." Critically, they will often urge you not to tell anyone, saying it could jeopardize the deal, or you'd have to split the prize. This is a calculated tactic designed to do one thing: to isolate you. They build a fence around you with their words to prevent you from talking to a trusted family member, a friend, or a financial advisor, because they know the moment you seek a second opinion from someone outside their bubble of pressure, the entire scam falls apart. Real opportunities welcome scrutiny. Fake ones demand secrecy and speed. This brings us back to the story of George, the 69-year-old grandfather I mentioned at the very beginning. George was a wonderful man who enjoyed the simple pleasure of playing the occasional scratch-off ticket from the corner store. One afternoon, he received a phone call. The man on the line sounded incredibly professional, congratulating George on winning a multi-million-dollar international lottery. To make it all seem real, he gave George a badge number, a case file number, and a phone number for the claims department. The news was overwhelming, exciting. George's mind immediately went to his family, paying off his daughter's mortgage, setting up college funds for his grandkids. He saw a future free of financial worries for everyone he loved. But then, of course, came the catch. The caller explained that to release the winnings from overseas, George first had to wire $2,500 to cover the international processing fees and taxes. He stressed that this was a legal requirement. When George hesitated, the caller applied the pressure, saying the deadline to claim the prize was 5 p.m. that very day. Driven by the powerful hope for his family's future and the intense, manufactured urgency, George went to the bank and sent the wire transfer. The promised prize, of course, never existed. The phone numbers were disconnected the next day. The money was gone for good, and what was left was a painful sense of betrayal and the feeling that his own hope had been used against him. Here is the simple, unbreakable rule I want you to remember, and please share this with everyone you care about. When it comes to prizes, real lotteries, sweepstakes, or contests never require you to pay a fee to collect your winnings. Ever. Taxes are paid to the IRS after you have the money in your hand, never before to a private company. And for investments, legitimate opportunities always involve risk, and no one can ever guarantee massive returns. So, the most powerful tool you have is the pause button. If you are ever pressured to make a significant financial decision immediately, the answer is always no. I want you to arm yourself with this simple phrase: "Thank you for the information. Let me discuss this with my family first, and I will get back to you." A legitimate professional will respect that completely. A scammer will push back with more pressure, and in that moment, they will show you their true colors. As we bring our conversation to a close today, I want to go back one last time to my patient, Frank, the proud Army veteran I mentioned at the very beginning. The reason I shared his story is not because he became a victim. It's because of the powerful transformation that happened afterward. That painful experience, falling for that prize scam, didn't break him. It armed him. About 6 months later, he received another call. This time, it was a different trick. A tech support scam, just like the first one we discussed. A man with an urgent voice told him his computer was sending out error signals and that his bank account was at risk. But this time, Frank didn't feel panic. He felt a sense of calm recognition. He heard the manufactured urgency, he spotted the pressure tactics, and he recognized the smell of a scam from a mile away. He didn't argue or get angry. He simply and calmly said, "Thank you, but I am not interested," and hung up the phone. He told me later that in that small, simple moment, he felt a sense of pride and control that he hadn't felt in a very long time. He wasn't a target anymore. Today, Frank volunteers at his local community center, teaching a small class on fraud prevention for seniors. He took his painful experience and turned it into a shield to protect others. He took his power back. And that is the single most important lesson I hope you take away with you today. Your wisdom, your life experience, and your healthy caution are your greatest strengths. They are the shield that no scammer can ever break through. In this world, you are not powerless. You are equipped, you are capable, and you are far more resilient than they could ever imagine. Outro: your commitment to action. We've explored 5 critical scams that are out there, but as we all know, knowledge is only powerful when we put it into action. So now, I have one important, but simple question for you. What is the one commitment you are making to yourself after watching this video? It doesn't have to be a grand gesture. It can be a small, powerful promise. It could be as simple as, "I will always hang up on a caller I don't know," or "I will always talk to my son or daughter before making a decision online," or even, "I will trust my gut instinct when something feels wrong." Please, take a moment to share your personal commitment in the comments below. Reading them won't just inspire me. It will create a powerful wall of shared wisdom and inspire everyone else in our community to take that first, crucial step. And if you found real value and encouragement in our time together today, please show your support by giving this video a like. To ensure you continue on this journey with us and never miss another video full of life-changing wisdom, hit that subscribe button. It's more than just subscribing. It's joining a community of people dedicated to living our later years with wisdom, safety, and confidence together. Finally, please think of one person in your life, a friend, a sibling, a neighbor, who needs to hear this message today, and share it with them. That simple act of sharing might just be the conversation that saves them from a world of heartache. Thank you for sharing your valuable time with me. It's an honor to be on this journey with you. Stay safe, stay wise, and I'll see you in the next video.